Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Vaz Carvalho. I am a director at the Virtual Campus, a software development company, and I'm also a professor in computer engineering department of the Porto Polytechnic. So my connection with artificial intelligence actually is at the level. So I work with artificial intelligence as a researcher in the serious games domain, and then as a director of the company I deal directly with artificial intelligence for software development and also for management of the company. In terms of serious games research, what we do is we try to create challenging games, and for that purpose what we do, we extract data that we call game analytics, and that data allows us to understand how the player interacts with the game. And then we use artificial intelligence to make the game more challenging according to the level of interaction of the user. So we can make the game a little bit easier if the player is having difficulties, or on the other side we can make it a little bit more challenging if the player is not experiencing big difficulty in playing the game. But this is, for this project, is more interesting if I speak about the way we deal with artificial intelligence in the company. And on one side we have this influence of artificial intelligence for the management side, and this can be direct or indirect influence. For instance, when we look for travels or flights or hotels and so on, we know that all the search engines that we use are backed up by artificial intelligence procedures that recommend us the best options. So it's one way of integrating indirectly artificial intelligence in our management procedures. But we also do that directly because we use different management tools, for instance for invoicing, for document storage and so on, and we have procedures in terms of how to store these effectively that are backed up by artificial intelligence. Another way that we interact or use artificial intelligence relates with the software development domain. So our developers, for instance, they use different types of artificial intelligence tools that sort of assist them in the software development process. So these tools can suggest or recommend different plugins, different libraries, different pieces of code that make their life easier, so they are able to develop code faster and more efficiently. More efficiently because there are also testing procedures that are backed up by artificial intelligence applications that allow them to ensure that the code they are producing is more reliable and more effective. So the introduction of artificial intelligence in the company has been sort of a smooth process. So there was no moment that we decided to, okay, we are going to use from now on artificial intelligence. So this is actually an ongoing process, and more features of our software development, but also our management, are supported by these artificial intelligence procedures.